think a lot of students have just gotten another sense of how to belong and how to create relationships outside of what were the traditional avenues.
And a lot of my students talk about how they feel safe in the esports program, and that's their family, that's their community. And I think that esports gives kids a future that they might otherwise not have.
Man, I wish that had been available when I was in high school.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the KHSAA Esports Championship. My name is Perino. I am joined by my co-host and co-caster, Audio. Audio, we have another great series of Rocket League coming up today.
We absolutely do. The KHSAA Esports Champions, like you said, going to have Graves County and Shelby County are returning champions come back to defend their title in year 2.
I'm so excited to see them come back. It is so cool that we now have schools coming back to defend a title again, working it through multiple seasons here on PlayVS. That is such an interesting dynamic to this series. I cannot wait to see who comes out on top today.
And what a crazy thing, not only in year 1, the inaugural season of their esports program, coming in with a championship, but then having the talent to come and repeat, get to the finals again. Definitely going to be keeping our eyes on those teams as they fight in this such important battle.
And it should be such an interesting dynamic because you have that experience. These are players that are returning to this stage. They know what it's like. They've seen the format. They've seen the pressure they have to deal with. It's such a colossal advantage to already have that experience coming into this.
Definitely is, and they've had a long and hard-fought battle to get here, both of them having pretty impressive records and then coming all the way through the playoffs to get to that final seat.
Yes, hopefully we will be taking a look at our bracket in just a moment. But just to talk about the records here for a second, Graves County coming in with a 20-4 game record to Shelby County's 18-3 record. Again, taking a look at our bracket, we have the Rocket Gold Squad versus Leverage Esports coming in. We'll see who takes it down.
Yeah, absolutely. Rocket Gold Squad taking down the Purple Rain and the Model Lab School. So you can see the Leverage Esports going through the Crusaders and ST6. Both of them now fighting out for that last spot where only the champion will sit.
Absolutely. And guys, really quick, a quick message to everyone. The National High School Federation and the Kentucky High School Athletic Association require officials to enforce sportsmanship rules. High school athletics emphasize positive values. The participants and coaches have worked hard to create a sense of teamwork, respect, responsibility, and perspective. We remind you that good behavior is expected and that misconduct will not be tolerated. Let this competition reflect mutual respect among all participants, officials, and fans.
And what a great message to hear. I mean, we're coming into this, and huge shout out as well to PlayVS, our sponsors for this. I mean, they've been setting up these leagues that, really rivaling the idea of traditional sports that, esports really belongs up there at the echelon, the basketball, the baseball, the football, and these players are held to a very high standard. Keeping that sportsmanlike conduct, in esports specifically, we see, a lot of players with the freedom of expression they have and kind of the anonymity of being behind a screen. There's some toxic behavior out there, but PlayVS and the KHSAA doing a great job keeping that in check, making sure this is a safe and fun competitive environment.
Of course, we want the absolute best for our players and everyone watching at home. It's so important to have that level of respect for one another, right? At the end of the day, these are student athletes. They put in so much time and effort both into their studies and into their sports here, of course, with Rocket League. It takes so much time and effort to get to a level at this game where you can compete for a state title. And I love the platform that PlayVS has brought to these players, and I love the values that they reflect.
Absolutely agree. But let's talk a little bit about Rocket League in general, because I know we're bound to have some people out there in the audience that are like, Rocket League, what the heck is that? Why are we talking about rockets? So break it down for me at its core. What is the game?
Yes, so Rocket League is a cross between a driving simulator and sports game. It is cars playing soccer with rockets on
With
the back.
rockets on the back.
Yes.
I love that. Rocket-powered soccer just sounds so cool.
And it's a ton of fun to play and watch as well. It's a very simple premise. You have to outscore your opponents. You put the ball in the back of the net. Most goals at the end of the game wins. We're doing a best-of-7 series today, so the first team to reach 4 victories will become champions.
And what sounds so simple can have a lot of tricky nuances in it as well. Although, rocket-powered soccer,
of course,
it's my favorite 3 words combined together. It seems simple. There's not even a lot of penalties or fouls that players really have to worry about. But where the tricky stuff comes in is in this field, there is very low gravity, or at least that's what it seems. This game almost defies physics, and so we're going to see players driving up walls, across the ceiling, jumping, finding aerial shots, and it really brings a whole nother dimension to the game where when you look at traditional soccer, you're just mainly passing the ball on the ground. I mean, of course, there's some aerial involved, but I mean, we will have entire drives and possessions, maybe even, long stretches where the ball just never hits the ground.
Yeah, it's such a difficult game to master, but such an easy premise, right? When you look at it on the surface, it's just, oh, I hit the ball goes forward.
That's how I play.
It starts that way, right? But as you put in more time, you develop an understanding of the different mechanics, the different skill sets that you need to play at a very high level. It is so much more, believe me, than just driving into the ball and hitting it. I cannot wait to see these players again. It takes so much time and effort to have these talents shine. As again, let's take a look at our players here. We're going to take a dive into Shelby County first.
Yeah, these players are people that have put so much time and effort into this game. It's good to take a look behind the curtains and see who they are as actual people. You can see Shelby County High there, your reigning champions, Nicholas, James, and Christian. You can see their favorite drink, their favorite movie, and their favorite esports athletes.
I love that they have all picked Rocket League players as their esports athletes. You can see representation from G2, from NRG, from, well, Scrubkilla is a free agent at the moment, but from very high-level players as well. I love that they all picked Rocket League esports athletes. If they can aspire to play as well as those guys, they will do very well today.
We'll see if that's what it's going to be. Taking a look at Graves County High, we have Isaac, Avery, and Garrett with their favorite sport, movie, and esports athlete as well.
Same thing with the esports athletes here, picking exclusively from a Rocket League pool. I love that. Talking about Cloud9, Squishy Muffins, NRG, Justin, G2, Rizzo, again, all phenomenal players here in North America. I'm a little disappointed that Garrett didn't go with Garrett G, for the professional. I feel like that would have been very suitable, but I respect Rizzo as a great choice as well.
And look at Avery there, 3 times national qualifier for basketball. Isaac, playing in cross-country, track, and field. Garrett, bowling. I actually love bowling. I used to be in a competitive league myself, so that warms my heart. But these are just really talented athletes, not even in the game, but just all around. They're very well-rounded.
Of course, and again, a lot of the skill set actually translates from traditional sports into esports. You get that sense of competition, the working with teams, being able to communicate and work together. Those are all soft skills that translate really well.
They absolutely are. And, I mean, we've been trying to challenge this preconceived notion that esports is not a real sport. And that's what PlayVS is really out here doing as well. I mean, this isn't just an after-school club where, kids get together and play some video games. I mean, we've got entire leagues, coaches, seasons, there's substitutions. There's, they have to have a good record to make it to the playoffs where there's a lot on the line. I mean, even when you're looking beyond the scope of just these championships, I mean, esports as an industry has completely boomed in the last decade. You now have at the top level professionals competing in competitions worth tens of millions of dollars. The collegiate scene is growing as well. There's colleges that are paying full ride scholarships for players like these to actually play on their team. So really important that these high school kids are able to find an avenue where they can express their passion and really hone in their skills.
Yes, and speaking on the collegiate scene as well, we also have to give a huge shout out to the University of Kentucky. They're hosting both of these rosters today. They're playing on site at LAN together in the same building.
That's incredible.
I think that is truly, truly awesome. They are doing a great job of promoting these athletes and giving them the avenue to succeed.
Hello, University of Kentucky, and thank you for allowing these players to, have a space where they can really compete, get on stage. It's so much different from when you're, cooped up in your room, just playing online with some friends, but then going to that stage setting where you have the crowd, where you have your opponents directly across, all that pressure just really elevates the competition into something completely new.
And likewise, not only having your opponents directly across you, but your teammates right
yeah.
next to you.
Your squad.
Of course. You have to have faith and trust and communication, all of those, again, soft skills that we mentioned earlier. But having people actually sitting next to one another elevates that to such a level. And guys, we're going to bring you right into it here. We're getting game one underway between Graves County and Shelby County.
That we are. As you can see, Graves County on the orange side, Shelby County, the defending champions here on blue with an early possession. Both these teams, game one, probably just going to be feeling each other out. Nicholas, though, he takes a shot. It goes up to Yo-Yo, just barely above that top crossbar. Sent back to the defending end.
Shelby County out to a really strong start, establishing that possession, that dominance early, finding an early chance. Again, as you said, though, looking to feel each other out, trying to figure out what each team is capable of doing.
And when we're talking about the mental game for this, you have Shelby County who, the reigning champions, they're coming back to defend their title, had a very good record going into the playoffs, and so they've got to be feeling so confident. However, that can be a double-edged sword. We've seen so many teams with good records, if they come in and fall behind early, it's really hard for them to make that switch into more defensive play style.
Of course, but I trust the veteran experience here. They're used to this stage. They've been here before and they've done it once. I see no reason for them to not be able to do it again, but of course they have great opponents.
Graves County is that reason.
Of course, and they're not willing to sit idly by and watch them go for a two-time champion, so.
Yeah, coming in as the underdogs here. A lot of people expect the reigning champions to come back, just make the repeat. But Graves County, the new kids on the block, they want to prove that they have a program worth looking at. That's what they're going to be looking to do here. Both teams, you can see, they're just, kind of volleying the ball back and forth. We haven't seen a lot of headway made. I expect the first game to be a little slower, but especially as the game and even the series ramps up, it's going to be a lot of big plays. See Nicholas with the drive here, does win the contention, sends it up to the center, but blocked away by Avery.
It's been pretty back and forth so far. Nobody really getting that much of a better look, as we almost had a great shot right there.
That was such a close look by Graves County, not able to quite connect on it. As you can see, these little yellow pads, as Primal finds a shot, and he scores. One gap in the defense, is able to set that one up himself, just dribbled it around the wall and right into that back corner.
Primal finds a really nice angle here. He's so close to the front post, but just able to push that ball all the way across into the net. Very difficult angle to score from, but he does a really nice job putting that home.
And Shelby County come out with an early score to make a good look on their defending run. Tarek, a great save there. As he comes across the lockjaw, coming up into the aerial, doing the same thing. Graves County are just, despite that one goal that just went through, they have been very solid on defense.
Yes, they most certainly have. I'm looking for them to transition into offense, though. I want to see how they can respond, try and develop some pressure of their own. They haven't really had too many great looks at goal. There's only 2 minutes left. They got to get it going.
That's what Avery and Lockjaw are looking to get done right here. They had a couple of good shots, but Shelby County are slouching on defense themselves. Lockjaw coming across the goal with a beautiful aerial save. Let's see if Graves County can get it back into their possession. Just under 2 minutes remaining in regulation. If both these two teams are tied at the end of the timer, we go into a overtime sudden death where the next goal secures the game. Graves, that's what they're looking to push for, at least right now. Obviously, both these teams would like to just come out straight with a win, though.
Of course, and Rocket League can be so fluid and so dynamic. Teams can score incredibly quickly. It only takes a few seconds for the tide to swing one way or another. They just need one chance.
A couple of good centers there by Graves County, but not able to get past the defenders that Shelby have in place. Some good passing down the field. Shelby now looking for their own drive. Tarek, though, not if he can help it. Nicholas is going to take possession of that one. We've seen a lot of play around these corners. These players really prioritizing knocking it out to that middle area to try to set up these passes.
Yes, and going to the corner is always a safe bet on defense, right? You're limiting the angle of attack for the opposition. So even if you don't get a great touch in the corner, you can still defend well. The issue, as you mentioned, is you still have to break out and find good touches.
There's a good look, and it's scored! Primal once again. He sets himself up. He knocks it down. Able to come in with a bounce pass off the backboard up into the top left corner. Beautiful shot.
And really nice positioning from Primal there as well. He's in a spot where if his teammate doesn't make the touch there, he can follow it up himself. It drops back down to him. That is a very nice top corner finish, and I expect that to be a game winner here.
Primal, the star of the first game so far for Shelby County. 2 goals on the board. Graves County, they have to pull out something right now if they want to send this one to overtime. Looking for a goal plus another one off the kickoff perhaps, but just 15 seconds remaining. Things aren't looking great for them. Thankfully, they still have plenty more games to try their hand.
And I really like this play from Avery here, just taking his time, taking it himself, trying to build that pressure. It may not be enough here, though. Another great save coming out.
Couple great shots there by Graves County at the end of it, but game 1 is going to go to your reigning champions, and Shelby County, the Rockets Gold Squad, is able to come off to an early lead in this best of 7.
And what I was actually really impressed by Shelby County there in that first game was actually their defensive positioning.
Oh, yeah.
They were always on top. They saw the touches coming, and they were always in good spots to defend passes, to defend shots. They never really allowed any great looks in front of net. Of course, they didn't allow the other team to score, and when that happens, you can usually find a victory.
Yeah, they never really went too hard on the offense. Didn't send all 3 players up there. They were confident in the scorers that they had. You saw Primal was able to find multiple looks where he himself got past multiple defenders. So just great individual play by Shelby, which allows them to spend more resources on that defense. More resources on defense.
Of course, and again, we jump right into game number 2 here. I'm looking for Graves County here to work some of those passes together. Great save coming out from Avery.
Another great shot by Primal, this time turned away by Graves County. Already on the defense here, having a couple shots go their way.
But see, that play right there is much better from Graves County. Notice the passing in defense, in transition, working to get the ball across midfield. I need to see a lot more of that. I think they can get some offense going if they can find each other.
Graves County looking to come alive here in game number 2. If you lose this one, that's where really the mental starts to get tested. You know, you wonder if you can hang with the best of the best, the defending champions. Graves County, they have a statement to make, and it starts right here.
It sure does. Building that offense, building that pressure. I think they're already coming out looking better in this early first minute.
They are just about a minute has elapsed here. This Terag is able to make a shot. Yo-Yo turning that one away up on the top of the goal. And we've seen this ball now spending a majority of the time actually in Shelby County side of the field. They're playing this one slow. They're, working on that solid defense that you said that they have. Graves County not able to find a whole lot of looks. Nicholas takes his shot at the goal, but Lockjaw is there to turn it away. So far, still no goals either side.
Lockjaw making a really nice read there, just getting up and defending the touch. You can see the path of the attacker just cuts off the lane between the attacker and the goal. Really nice individual save there.
Avery 1v1 on the defense, not able to get it. Primal once again puts up a number for Shelby County.
And Primal calling off his teammate, recognizing the 1v1 situation, swings wide and cuts back in to build the power on that shot. That power and that accuracy simply unstoppable there.
And we've seen time and time again now, Primal is able to find these looks that it feels like nobody else could. The rest of the team doing so good to enable him on the offense, setting up a solid defense and great passes. This is really a well-oiled machine.
It sure is. And I give a lot of credit to Shelby County. They have so much faith in their individual attacking prowess. It allows them to sort of sit back on defense a little bit, work together to transition the ball out, and let players make individual plays on offense. It's
Eric, though, he's able to find a center look. Primal, now playing goalie, is able to knock that one away, keep his lead secured. As now Shelby County is going to be on the offense. Bounce off the corner. It's going to go high to the center. Shelby County, though, not able to find a look. Graves will resume possession as Lockjaw Gonna dribble it as well. Looking for his teammate, but Nicholas is there with the interrupt. And these are those high arcing moments where the ball seems to never hit the ground. This is what makes Rocket League so darn fun to watch.
And a really important element of that, as well as managing the amount of boost. You only have a limited amount of boost in your tank. You have to pick up boost on the field to recover that.
And how do you do that?
So you need to drive over. There are little small individual yellow pads you can see on the field, and there are also larger ones in the corners and in the midfield. The corner ones fill your boost entirely. The smaller ones, if you pick up a few of them, increase your boost incrementally. So you really have to manage your positioning to get that boost full.
Not only do you have to worry about, all of the fast-paced action going on, but that resource management is such a crucial part. We've seen those looks where Primal able to just get the slight edge over his opponent. You got to think, well, maybe if they had just a little bit more boost, might able to keep up with him. Right now, though, game has stagnated. Shelby County playing a slow game. They know they have a lead. Tarek, though, is going to take it away and finally put Graves County on the board, tying this one up.
And finally, Graves County is able to break the defense. That touch from the middle is so good. It comes off the sidewall with power, with pace, right in front of net. Tarek just has to be in the right spot. Knocks it home. Well done to them.
Shelby County looking like they got caught snoozing there. They had two defenders in the goal, but both of them out of position, weren't ready for that shot. Now we have a game on our hands. 1 minute left until overtime. Both these teams going to be looking to close it out. Shelby County, they want that 2-0 start, that intimidating, just kind of imposing on your opponents. Graves County, they don't want to fall behind.
And after finding that equalizer, I think Graves County want to push the aggression still. As you said, they want to instill that fear on the other team and capitalize on mistakes if they can find it.
Right now, though, they had a couple of bad looks there, not able to quite connect to the ball. Eventually, Lockjaw gets in position to knock that one away. Avery going to follow up with another save. As we can see, both these teams, we haven't seen a lot of hyper aggression from either side. This is a very calm and calculated Rocket League game where every single move, every shot, every pass is worth its weight in gold.
It sure is, and part of that is due to the pressure. You don't want to make a risky play, have it not work, and then concede a goal in this spot. Careful now.
Oh, this one, it has to touch the ground before the timer will expire. Couple more seconds to make that final goal, but no, we're going to be going into overtime. Sudden death now. The first goal will mean a victory here in game number 2.
And so much pressure.
And Avery's looking for it. That was such a great look, dribbling it through the air, but Primal coming out of nowhere and turning that one away. That could have very well been the end of the game right there.
And we talk about the defensive positioning from Shelby County. Look at how he sits right on top of the backboard there. He recognizes the danger and is able to make a stop because he was sitting in a good spot.
Oh, look at that. Just barely. Primal able to knock it up an inch, and it bounced off the top crossbar. But we've seen Graves County come alive here in overtime. A lot of very creative, well-placed shots. And Shelby County, they look like they're struggling just to turn some of these away.
I really think Avery is starting to feel it. Look at the patience to have the dribble play, try to set it up there. 2 great looks for them so far. Haven't been able to capitalize. We'll see if they get another one, if they can knock it home.
Pass over to the center, but Graves County was there to defend. Now we see Shelby getting a little bit of fire in their eyes if they've had a successful drive or two. Nicholas now with control. We've seen Nicholas time and time again take the ball to the corner, try to set it to the center for Yo-Yo or Primal to look for it. Primal coming up big as he goes once again up to that backboard to knock that shot away. But Tarag scores it. He catches him off guard, and Graves County will take game number 2 in overtime.
And I'm actually going to give a ton of credit to Lockjaw here on the assist. Watch him wait in midfield. He challenges that ball early, forces the pressure right back on the defense. They're not ready for it. It results in the goal. We have an equal series here now.
Perino, we have a series on our hands now. A lot of people coming in gave Shelby County the edge. They're the reigning champions. How could you not? They made it all the way back to the finals. Surely nobody can contest this team. Graves County making a statement saying, hey, we're here. Don't forget about us.
I really love the way they played that overtime. So aggressive in maintaining that pressure on offense, not really allowing those breakout attempts. It's just a very complete way to play the game. Eventually, they were going to score. You could feel it coming. They got their chance, and they capitalized.
And my favorite part about the aggression from Graves County, let's talk about the aggression of Shelby, though. Not even 5 seconds into the game, scoring a goal.
Yeah, and Yo-Yo just capitalizing on the opportunity here, finds a look from the corner, just drills that thing into the back of the net.
It's correct me if I'm wrong, it seemed like Graves County wasn't actually contesting that one. Okay, this makes me confirm my suspicions. None of the players are moving. Looking at that last replay, we didn't see any of the Graves County members move. They just sat there and took that goal. Maybe some connection issues. Remember, both these teams are on land at the University of Kentucky, so with that venue, comes the inevitable problems of, sometimes there's some internet connection issues, with everybody being in one spot. It's a very large stress load, so Shelby County gonna, do the right thing, just take a breather here, wait for their opponents to get settled.
And I'm sure they're just waiting on the admin. They'll figure it out across the teams. They'll see what the result is. Again, let's talk about game number 2, though, right?
Absolutely. That was such a good game.
I love the response, right? You go down to the first game. That sort of pressure, right, from losing the first game can build and build and build. If you feel like you can't get on the board, you can't score, you can't do anything. But they stayed patient. They came back into the flow of the game. They found an equalizer to send it to overtime, and they did really well in the overtime itself to find a winner. I just love that complete gameplay from him.
Yeah, it was the whole package from Graves County. And I also love when we talk about aggression, right? A lot of the teams that we've seen be aggressive and come out with these very strong, dominant victories, their aggression comes from just firing shot after shot after shot. You overload the defense with all these different angles, and eventually one of them's bound to slip through. Where I look at Graves County and I see some aggression, like you said, but it's a different kind. It's a more tempered aggression where they're very calculated, setting up every shot. They don't take a shot unless it's a high chance of it going in. And even the ones that have been turned away have been just very great shots that really Shelby have had to overperform to be able to turn away. So it's not as much just rapid fire shots, but so many of these high percentage looks.
Yeah, it's playing smart with it, right? You can't just fire and fire and fire, because eventually what happens is you run out of boost and you can't continue the pressure because you only have so much boost to use and you have to retreat. As again, we are getting reset here. This is game number 3. Hopefully everyone's all set, ready to go now as we get it back underway.
Thankfully, technical issues have been resolved. The score has been reset, so we are coming into this game fresh. That first goal did not count because Graves County obviously were not able to actually defend their own goal. So back into game 3. 30 seconds of regulation have elapsed. No goals either side, but it's Graves County here with this early drive.
Yes, and just maintaining that momentum that they built in game number 2. I really like the job they're doing of looking for each other with passing. They're finding each other where they can and just doing a much better job working as a team, I think.
Oh, there comes a big look from Yo-Yo, but stopped dead in his tracks there. We can see Nicholas's perspective as he dribbles it off the ceiling, tries to set up for Primo, who's taking the drive. Look for the contention there. If he got past the defender, he would have had a clear shot to the goal. But good jobs by Graves County not faltering.
As Nicholas here, again, working through the midfield. This has been a more tempered start to this game as well. Very similar, but this one could be close.
Wow, what a shot there by Primo. No defender inside. If he had just had that one a smidge to the right, we would be looking at Shelby County with a lead here. Lockjaw answering with a shot of his own, but turned away by Nicholas.
And I love from these perspectives as well, you can see the boost in that bottom right corner. Again, a number out of 100. You can see the advantage of being able to use that boost and the disadvantage of not having it.
Yeah, and this game is a lot about momentum, right? You have that boost. Once you have boosted long enough, you get into this, faster state where your car just generally moves faster. But then also you see these players doing a lot of front flips and back flips. The cars actually get a double jump, and on that second jump you can choose a directional flip, and that can actually add momentum to your car as well. So the speed that you are moving in every direction is something you always have to have in the back of your mind.
Of course, and those double jumps are what allow great technical plays. As again, you see it from Primal there, finding power on the ball and the precision to knock it away from the net.
Tarag there, the ball was headed straight for that goal, but able to stop it on the way. Now looking for a drive himself. You can see Scarag with a score of 150 so far. Those scores are calculated off a number of things: goals, shots, saves, and then just actual ball touches.
Yeah, and the scoreboard can sometimes be misleading in the sense of who's getting quality touches, right? It's not the end-all, be-all. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what matters are the goals scored.
And so far, we have not had one yet here in game number 3. It's looking to be another close series as a shot from Nicholas is saved by Tarag. Shelby County here getting a little bit more aggressive. They haven't had to really been put much on defense. Of course, right as I say that, I caster curse them. And they are on the defending end of the board, but doing just fine at it. These teams looking for those high percentage shots. They don't want to take any risks that could put them at a disadvantage. They're making sure that they have the play set up, the passes, the calculated shots.
Of course, again, you don't want to make mistakes that result in a goal the other way. You have to be so careful when you're pushed that far forward. It can open up your own net. With a minute and 20 left, though, somebody has to break this.
Somebody's O has got to go, and it's Lockjaw who sends it off to the center. His teammate not quite in position to drive that one home. Primal, the star of Shelby County so far, isn't there, and Avery is able to find the shot bouncing off the ceiling. A weird angle coming through, and it was too much for Shelby to counter.
But I really like the play from Avery there. He's making the challenge. He's making a good contest on the ball in the midfield. It bounces a bit fortunate for him off the ceiling and into the back of the net. But hey, Graves County takes that every day of the week.
You will always take every goal that you can get. The only bad goals are the ones you score on your own team. See a demolition there. Yo-Yo charging in. Going to send Avery on about a 3-second timeout.
And it resets him to his own side of the field as well. So not only are you taken off the field, but you lose that forward positioning that you once had.
Can be a tactical advantage to just straight up demolish a defender. And we've seen a lot of these players that we've seen over the weekend go for that aggressive style where instead of just attacking the ball, you know, the rest of the team will look for aggressive touches. But Nicholas there tying it up, scoring 1-1.
What a beautiful recovery from Nicholas here. As he's jumping off the wall, you'll notice he flips back towards the direction of the ball. He's waiting for that chance, and it does drop to him. I don't think the defense expected it. We didn't expect it. That's a great goal.
We saw this kind of back and forth, this floating around to the ball, and then all of a sudden, Nicholas just out of nowhere sneaks one into the goal, almost unnoticed. And he's able to put this to the overtime. 5 seconds left. If you need to score, it has to happen right now. As soon as that ball hits the ground, we will be going into overtime. Graves County, can you make one more charge off the wall? It hasn't touched the ground yet. Avery looking for a shot, turned away, and there it is, tied once again. So we'll be going into a sudden death overtime.
And give credit to Nicholas there. You saw him take that position off the crossbar, just turns that ball completely aside, and allows the game to go to overtime.
Avery, great defensive play right there. 2 attackers coming at him, trying to power that goal through. Was able to dribble past both of them. Now it's Graves County with a couple of long shots. The defense just passing it back and forth throughout the air. Shelby County will grab that boost.
Bit aggressive from Avery there to go for that challenge. It will allow Shelby County to move up the field. You don't necessarily want that when the situation is simply the next goal wins.
And there it is, Primal, the score leader here of the series. 40 seconds into overtime, able to come up and find that look. Not a defender in sight.
But great technical execution from Primal as well, getting up to that ball, firing it right under the crossbar. It allows Shelby County to take this game 3. So back and forth, though, in this game.
Yeah, it absolutely has been. Now, series score at 2-1. We'll be going into game number 4 here pretty soon. And I think this is enough, though, where Graves County, they don't look scared. They're playing confidently, even going up against such a storied organization and team like Shelby County. They don't seem intimidated in the least.
No, absolutely not. They've gotten into the flow of these games. It's just been so tight. We'll have to see if they can force another equalizing game here.
Shelby County, though, they really want to cement their dominance in the Rocket League scene. They have to come out strong in this game. If you can kind of chalk those first ones up to, okay, first games, we're feeling out our opponents, this is where teams start to take it to another level.
Yeah, and we're looking for that second gear, right? This has been overall a fairly low-scoring series. None of the games have really been explosive with goals. Again, we attribute that largely to respecting your opponent and not being overly aggressive. We'll see if anybody can really start firing on all cylinders on offense.
At some point, though, the respect for your opponent has to end. I'm all about, not getting too cocky, over aggressive, but at some point you have to realize, hey, we are the better team. We cannot let them hang around with us. We have to break out and get ourselves a lead. That aggression is what I'm looking for from these two squads here as Graves County. They're getting aggressive real early with that demolition and then looking to the drive. But Shelby County, even with just 2-man, was able to find the stop.
Yeah, but that ball was put in a really challenging spot here. Graves County, they're working this pressure on offense. They're giving Shelby County everything they've got. The continued looks are so close to getting there. They just need that final touch.
And this is that rapid-fire style we were talking about, right? They made 4 or 5 shots in the span of a couple seconds there. Coming in with the demolitions as well. Lockjaw able to come back onto the defense. Now it's Shelby County's turn for that rapid-fire offense. Bouncing off the wall, ball spending a lot of time in the orange court. Demolition coming through from Primal by his team. A little bit of respite.
And it just buys so much time when you can get those demolitions on defense. You take attacking players out of the game, and it gives everyone a chance to reset mentally and physically, in the sense you need boost, but also, okay, I don't have to continuously defend my net. I can move into a better spot.
Lockjaw going up into the air. Can he get it past Nicholas? No! He'll come out with the save. Great stop there by Shelby County. Now going to be looking for this drive. Avery off the top of the wall. Passes it back, but no teammates in sight.
Avery actually doing a really nice job there of having the technical prowess to take that ball all the way across the net. It can be dangerous, but you saw how much power he got behind that, able to clear all the way to the midfield. It just buys his teammates so much time.
Now Terry looking to clear the ball out of here. Going to be taken back away by Nicholas. The ball just changing hands so quickly here. As we see the power of these players. What a look through the air from Avery, but Yo-Yo, the hero of Shelby County, a brick wall on defense.
What a phenomenal save that is. You have to read that play coming. He saw the second attacker flying through the air towards that ball and just read it absolutely perfectly. That's a great stop.
Another great stop there by Graves County that time. As Primal's going to find a demolition, and the technical plays just keep on getting crazier here. You can tell these players are getting more and more confident, going for these slightly riskier plays.
And you just love to see it again, but that's what it's going to take to break these two defenses. We've not only seen some more technical offensive plays, but the saves have been excellent so far. It's a large contributing factor as to why we haven't seen that many goals.
Low scoring game indeed, and Rocket League, although it emulates soccer in kind of its rule set in the balls and the goals, it doesn't usually emulate its low scoring style. This is a very fast paced game, so that just really speaks to the two defensive squads that we have right here. It's not that there's been bad offense. We've seen a lot of really great shots, just the defense has been at another level.
It certainly has been. And also, a lot of that comes down to trusting your teammates on defense as well. Usually when we see people make mistakes on defense, it's because they don't have the faith in their teammates to be there for them, and they overextend. both of these teams, you can tell they have worked together, they have played together, they have trust and faith in one another to make those stops.
Just 35 seconds left in regulation. Will trust and teamwork be enough to keep these teams from going to overtime for the third time this series in just 4 games? 25 seconds remaining. Avery's looking for a shot, but triple stacked defense. Primal going to be the one to credit that save, as both these teams fighting tooth and nail here, trying to get that last second buzzer beater that every Rocket League player dreams of. 7 seconds left. This is the final chance for both of these teams. You can see Graves County, they just get aggressive. They started targeting the players. They don't even care about the ball. Nicholas through the air. It hasn't touched the ground quite yet. Lockjaw, is it gonna make it? No! Primal will turn that one away. So close to Graves County finding that miracle shot.
Graves County did such a nice job there of opening up the defense. Lockjaw in particular, finding the bumps and finding the plays to almost make that work right at the end of regulation. But here we are, overtime once again.
The third overtime in a row, I believe. I believe it was just that game one that didn't have the overtime. Now Avery taking out the field, stolen away by Primal. We've seen Primal really come out as a star on this Shelby County squad. He's led his team so far in scores. He's also been incredible on defense, blocking some of the most impressive shots we've seen all series, and really been a big proponent of what has kept Shelby County in this so far.
And I'm actually looking on the opposite side.
We're looking at Nicholas scoring a goal, as that demolition coming through means there is nobody left to stop him.
Nicholas just finding the open net, pounces on the mistake, makes absolutely no if, and, or but about it, just knocking that one through. Shelby County taking these games, but taking them so close to the finish line.
The Rockets Gold Squad now up 3-1.
Ooh.
Game point. If they win the next game, they are going to be taking it all home. Their second championship title back to back. It's so close they can almost taste it. But Shelby, you got to think they still have a couple of tricks up their sleeve.
I imagine they do, and I also can't imagine the pressure. I'm getting stressed out watching the games. I can't imagine what
That's
it's
how
like
you know it's a
playing
good series, when we're on the broadcast desk just talking about the game and we're sweating.
Yeah, these have been such back and forth close games the whole way through. I anticipate that to also be the case here in game number 5. Wow, I have so much respect for these two squads. They've just been going back and forth, back and forth. Shelby, I think, getting a little bit of a break there in overtime. They found the defensive mistake from Graves, and they were able to punish.
They absolutely were, but really great demolition too. We briefly touched on that, but another avenue of strategy, just kind of just to layer it on top of what seemed at first such a simple game, is those demolitions. If you are going fast enough and you head on ramming into an opponent, you demolish them, and they have a couple seconds before they respawn on their own side of the map, as you mentioned, and that was what allowed Shelby County to find that goal. They had a defender back there, but the demolition left the goal wide open, and they pounce on that couple second window.
Because the demolitions can be so disorienting when you're on the field as well. You have to anticipate when either your teammates or your opponents are going to touch the ball. And when a player is taken out of the game and the ball just stops and no one's around to touch it anymore, it can be incredibly disorienting to your path and your momentum. Again, huge ups to Shelby County for capitalizing on that chance when they got it.
Yeah, you talked about the teamwork and the trust that has to happen between a squad, knowing that your team is always going to have your back so that you can focus on your game and trust that they are going to focus on theirs. But when somebody gets demolished, all of a sudden, you were trusting that player to be back on defense and say, like, hey, I've got it if a shot comes through. Well, now, not necessarily through faults of their own. It's not saying that they betrayed your trust, but now they're not there to pick up that squad. Now, for a couple seconds, you're in a 2v3, and that throws the whole dynamic out the window.
It certainly does, and it builds that pressure and that panic almost, right? Because now you have to make a play. There's no one backing you up. And you're already in a pressure spot in the sense that you're playing in this grand final. You're competing for your school. You know that there are people watching at home. You're already in a pressure spot. And then in those singular moments to have that additional pressure, it can be a lot to handle.
It absolutely can. Shelby County, 1 game away from taking it home. Let's talk about the opposition, though. We spent a lot of praise on Shelby County, and definitely a lot of praise needs to go over to Graves County as well. They've played phenomenally. It's been, again, a low-scoring game, and so we've just been hairs away from seeing a completely flipped storyline where it's actually Graves County that's up, not having this time. But what do they need to do here in game number 5 to prevent this from going over 3-1?
What I've seen from Graves County is I'm looking at Avery and I'm looking at Lockjaw. I think those are two very technically skilled players. I want to see more from them working with each other on offense. They've had some phenomenal looks when they get that passing going right in front of the net. They haven't turned them in yet, but they have gotten some great looks when they go for those passes together. I think they got to focus on getting some goals by passing to one another on offense.
Yeah, more of what's good. We've seen some incredible shots here from both the squads, but I just got to, again, give a highlight out to the defensive that have been so solid on both sides. I mean, we're seeing shots that in other games that we're looking at, those are like 95, 97% chance that those are going in. Like, those are so hard to actually block, but both squads have made it look so ridiculously easy that it looks like a boring game, but really these players are working in like triple overdrive here to actually turn away all these incredible shots.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where Graves County can feel somewhat hard done by, in the sense that when they've had those really good looks, Shelby County has responded with great saves of their own. There was that moment right before the overtime where Graves County, they were building the pressure, they got a demolition, they got a few open looks at the net, but some great saves came through on the half of Shelby County, and it forced it to go to that overtime. So, yeah, just really exciting stuff on both ends.
All right, well, we are going to be taking a quick 5-minute break here as the players are getting ready to go into Game 5. It's going to be a big one. Shelby County 1 win away from their back-to-back championship titles. Don't go anywhere.
Rot your brains, it's a waste of time. And then like now I see where esports is at, and my family and I at home, we watch the League of Legends championship. One of the students here at BC, he came to me and said, hey, we're really interested in starting an esports team. Like, BC needs an esports team, and can you help us? I was a little bit apprehensive because I did not play video games and I wasn't sure what it would all entail. But then that same student came to my door almost every day the first week of school and said, have you talked to the principal? What's going on with the esports team? It's really because of the students. They were the ones that I felt like, because they're so interested, I think I can do this. My team, they never played League of Legends before, and them going from starting out just at the basic beginnings to now they're in the 30s and seeing how their team work, they're strategizing, and they've basically taken ownership of our team and run with it. It's been fantastic. At our school, leadership is really encouraged and admired among the students. With esports, my students get an opportunity in a different way than what maybe traditionally would be thought of as this is a leadership role you would have. So we have a team captain, we also have a team coach, and they really work really well with the students to kind of bring them together, and they are the ones that outside of school, they're practicing. We get 3 hours of practice a day. They come in at 7 a.m. in the morning, and they're waiting for me. They're like, hey, we're ready to go. Can we come in? Can we practice? Originally, we were practicing 3 days a week, and they were like concerned they weren't getting enough practice. They were like, can we do more? Can we squeeze in another day? So they wanted to do 5 days a week, but I was like, let's start with 3, let's build up to 4, and if we make it to playoffs, then we'll go to 5. They are just so motivated to kind of like take ownership of it. They basically decide beforehand what their bands are, who's doing what position, because I really would not have that kind of knowledge. And even though I don't play as much as they do, you know, you have to admire somebody who's built up their skill set. They've had to put in a lot of time and energy in order to be so good. And then when I play, I go like, wow, this is a lot harder than it looks. It has been wonderful watching how good my students have gotten in such a short amount of time.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We have game number 5 here between Shelby County and Graves County. They have taken this quick respite, and we are on match point here. Again, Shelby County leading the series 3-1.
They absolutely are. Thankfully, we're able to get those technical difficulties worked out. There was something on Rocket League's end. Server update, and Tarag starting it off strong, getting Graves County off to an early lead in the first 30 seconds.
And this is such a nice challenge from Avery here, just contesting right at the point of defense, really, from that last player in Yo-Yo. It allows that clean, open net. You don't miss those. Graves County jumping out to a 1-0 lead.
Great look there by Graves County. Early aggression. That's what it's going to take. Get them back into the series. They are now down 3-1 in the series overall. If Shelby County walk away with a win, that'll be it. They'll be your back-to-back defending and reigning champions. You know it's got to be a lot of extra pressure on them. Got to hope that they don't crack under it.
And when an interesting element is, after having that break, you have to wonder about what each team is thinking, right?
And look at that lockjaw up over to the defender. They weren't sure which way he was coming, and it was going to the back of the net. It's now 2-0 in this first, just over a minute here for Graves County. This seems like a completely different squad.
It sure does. They've jumped out to such a strong start here. Really nice patience from Lockjaw, just recognizing the defender might have difficulty with that, jumping up, putting it through on goal when he had his chance.
And you said you wanted to see more from Avery and Lockjaw, and you have got it. We've even seen, the entire squad really has been out there in Storm. That first goal going over to Chirag, and now Avery. Every single member has scored here in just over a minute and a half.
What an incredible difference we have seen immediately from Graves County. I'm pretty sure this is the first time any team has taken a 3-goal lead in this series.
This quickly, I would be very confident to back up that stat. It seems like whatever pep talk they had during that break, whatever coffee they put into their cups, it is working, man, because they are just unstoppable right now.
Yes, and you're just seeing them. They're so clinical with the finishes when they're getting a chance. They're not, what's what I'm looking for, thinking about it too much. They're just going when they see it, and they're scoring, which is a huge step up for them in this series.
We've seen them strong on defense this entire time, but now the missing piece of the puzzle, the offense, has finally fallen into place. That ball just barely out of Primal's reach. And now Graves County looking to continue their dominance. Yo-Yo, though, he wants to try to even it up. Tarag is going to save that one and keep their lead nice and strong.
Yeah, Tarag doing a really nice job there, just coming across the back of the net, denying the ball right at the goal line, and allowing transition. Again, Graves County, they still look so dangerous on offense.
They keep just attacking. Nicholas there will turn that one away, but already seeing a couple kinks in the armor of Shelby County. And they still are sitting in a comfortable position series-wise. They have, 2 more losses that they can suffer before they really have their backs to the wall. But they want to finish it out here and now. But if they want to do it this game, we got to see some more shots from them.
We certainly do, but I just give so much credit to Graves here. They jumped out of this break and they said, we are going to have absolutely no fear. We're going to play with confidence. We're going to play with aggression and speed. It has worked.
That it has. See if they can keep it working for themselves. Graves County, no pressure right here. They can honestly just sit back and use their incredible defense they've had all series long to preserve this lead, but they are continuing to stay on the attack, taking the fight to Shelby County. And what a great look for them it has been. Tarag now with the ball. Passes it up back through one defender. It's Avery taking the shot there, but turned away. What a great middle pass.
Such beautiful vision from the attacking player there, knowing that his teammate is along the side
no.
of the net.
This one's looking scary. The ball just barely bouncing off the top, but Primal comes in with the repeat and is able to find the goal.
That ball taking a somewhat unfortunate bounce off that post. It can be so difficult to read what angle specifically the ball will bounce off the post. It can be very misleading when the ball goes that way and can pop out really in any direction. Tough one to deal with for Graves County. They have to hold on for another minute and 15 seconds.
Shelby County, that was a good look, but You have a lot of more ground to cover if you want to try to close this series out right here, right now. Just a minute left in regulation, 2 goals away just from overtime is Shelby County. This series, though, has been no stranger to OT, that sudden death. We've seen it already 3 times. A great jump over the defenders. Avery, what was that?
It's a great flick from Avery is exactly what this is. He sees that all 3 defenders are in that corner, nobody covering that back post. He gets in front of the ball and uses the back end of his car to drive that all the way into the back corner. Beautiful finesse from Avery, and that's a really nice finish.
And if this game was out of reach before, you couldn't touch it with a 30-foot pole now. Shelby County, they're probably just going to be looking towards the next one. They want a couple of another shots, though. They want to prove that they're down but not out, but you got to think in Game 5 right now, you know, it is all but over. Graves County should be walking away with this one. 30 seconds remaining. It would take nothing short of multiple miracles for Shelby County to come back. Graves, they're just trying to keep it off their side of the map.
But I think an interesting element of it as well is you want to continue that aggressive style, right? You don't want to give Shelby County any chance whatsoever to even get close. It's a one-on-one right here.
They might be looking for another shot. Nicholas is able to knock it up into the air, coming back down. Not able to quite find the goal yet. Lockjaw will take one final attempt. This passes up, but just sending that one down to the ground. And it is going to be Graves County winning that one in force.
Oh my word, what a response from them, right? They're on match point. They have to win 3 games in a row. If you want to make a statement to win the first one, this is how you do it.
Hello, we are here. We have shown up. We are ready to fight. That is what Graves County has just sent to us here as fans watching this game. This is now such a competitive series. I mean, we saw such a slow-paced first 3 games, and we thought, oh, Shelby County, they've just had the slight edge in all the scenarios. I mean, there was that one game, went to overtime, they were able to close it out, but that game right there proves to me that Graves County is not playing for second.
They certainly have the skill set to still take this series. They are down, but they are certainly not out. We're going to jump right into game number 6, though. Graves County, do they have it in them to take 2 more games straight?
We'll see if they can replicate that explosive performance we saw here in Game 1, already taking the fight to Shelby County. Look at that shot into the back line. Lockjaw is able to find a demolition as well, but not converting there on the goal. You can see Avery just taking the fight to the defenders, and there's the look, and it bounces off of Shelby County. Lockjaw is able to find another early score for Graves.
I think Graves County found their basket of Wheaties during that break. They have just come out completely different game plan. They're going physical, they're going fast, they're going aggressive. It's working.
That it is Shelby County. They got to make something change right now. They cannot afford to have another game like last one happen to them. They are still up 3-2, and there it is. Lockjaw once again, 2 goals in under a minute. This man is unstoppable.
And this is what I mean about aggression. Look at how quickly Lockjaw closes down that space. The defensive rotation not quite there, just jumps right in front of it, puts it straight through into the net. This is, again, looking like a quick start for Graves County. We continue with the action here. Primal looking to take it out of his own corner. Finds a really nice technical touch to put it against the backboard. May follow it up himself.
And
off the crossbar.
There it is. Lickless is able to finally find that score. That one just hung in front of the goal, seemingly frozen in place, finally able to tap it in. I don't know if Graves County could have got that one out if they tried, but great shot there by Shelby. They've at least started to fight back.
Yes, and a great individual effort from Primal there. Reading when he had this shot, and then almost another great goal right there from him. He's starting to feel it now. Will it be enough?
That is the question here. Demolition coming in from Lockjaw. They do have a small numbers advantage here for a few seconds. Nicholas, though, his partner respawn. He's able to defend that goal. Avery looking for the aerial touch straight towards that goal, but just barely too high up off the top bar.
And what's so interesting is Graves County actually had a few more chances within that opening minute. They almost could have had a 3rd or a 4th realistically. I wonder if that may end up biting them.
We'll see, as you see Primal looking for the drive up above the goal. This has been his sweet spot all game long. 200 score here just in this game alone. He hasn't scored himself, but has definitely participated in the plays. And such a star performance from him all throughout the series. The entire team of Shelby County has been playing phenomenally, but when you're looking at one player to stand above the rest, you have to think of Primal. Right now, though, Graves County working as a squad, one cohesive unit trying to take this to a game number 7. So they're on offense.
I like the rotations here from Graves County. They're starting to slow it back down a little bit, but they're trusting one another to make these touches as this one comes right through.
There it is. Avery able to take that one away. I actually believe that would have been Lockjaw's 3rd goal. That one was going in. But Avery, he just wants to say I'm helping.
Well, you always want to make sure that it's going in. You want to have zero
That was
doubt.
going in.
I always give credit to the attacker there. But regardless, it's a great individual effort finding those passes and just waiting in the right spots to score. This Graves County team, they're looking so strong.
Avery there saying, goal secured, guys. I've got it under control. Graves County has this game under control right now, up 3-1, just 2 minutes left here in regulation. Shelby County, they have the series lead, but you know they don't want it to come down to a final game. They want to end it here and now, but they have some ground to make up before that happens.
The crazy part is there's still more than enough time to do it, just under 2 minutes remaining. Goals can come so quickly, as we've seen with these strong starts from Graves County. It really doesn't take that much to go the other way. It's going to come right down to the wire.
Tarag here now with possession here in the defense. He's going to take it up into the air past one defender, but Nicholas is going to win that challenge now, centering the ball. Knocked away by Lockjaw. Good shot there by Nicholas.
And what I really liked there was actually Avery had the patience and the recognition to understand that Lockjaw was coming across to help him out. Didn't panic, waited for his teammate to come up and make the touch for him.
Shelby County, they have been getting aggressive here on this drive. A lot of shots coming through. None of them finding their mark, though, and they need to start that scoring off right now. They want a chance of tying this one up, let alone winning it flat out. Great save there by Lockjaw coming through the air. Make sure that goal does not come through.
Lockjaw's been such a standout performer in this game in particular. Generating goals, generating assists, and a beautiful save right there. Just going full send to make the stop. He has had a phenomenal Game 6.
That he has. Tarag with a good shot, but blocked by Primal. As Shelby County, they only have 30 seconds left. This one is looking more and more like Graves County will be taking us to a final Game 7 as Tarag makes a long shot there. And that one just sneaking over to the defender, barely too high, inches away from taking him to a 4-1 lead.
Avery almost had a really, really nice goal there. But this one looks about done and dusted. That's a great save from Primal.
And Primal, he's the star on defense right now, but where was that stone, the brick wall earlier on in this game? 1 second left. Any hopes of taking this one back is now gone. Shelby County, they will be going to a Game 7, as it is Graves County winning that match.
What a turnaround from Graves County. I said it before, they had to go 3 straight games. Well, they got 2.
They listened.
They sure did. They've got 2. Everything on the line here coming up in Game 7. It is simply winner take all at this point. Graves County coming with all the momentum. Can Shelby County find that inner resolve to come back and win this one?
And we need to see a shift from Shelby County, because what was working in games 1 to 3 is not working anymore. After that short break that we had, we have seen a new squad come out from Graves County. They have been so much more aggressive. You know, they've kept the technical play, but they've ramped the tempo up to 12.
They certainly have, as we're starting to see it here. Nicholas is going to get a chance, though, for a one-on-one. Gets it past one. Primal following it up.
Just barely too high. There was a great look across the middle there for Shelby County. You know they have to bring out their A game in this one. The final game, score tied up 3-3. And there's an early goal by Primal, the star player of Shelby.
And it's just such shaky defense here. Primal gets this touch past one. The defender
that should have been blocked.
can't quite make the stop. It allows Shelby County to get an early lead. Will we see that aggressive response from Graves County still? I don't know.
You hate to see it. Graves County giving up an easy goal. That one, gotta say, it should have been turned away. But Shelby County, they will take it any day of the week. This is where it all matters. If you have those shaky goals in, games 1 through 6, it doesn't matter. This one is for all the marbles.
It certainly is. As now Graves looking for that response, they have to put it behind them. A great save there from Avery. Good job to get contested.
But Nicholas comes in behind him and just powers it through. Shelby County now coming up clutch.
Again, I gave so much credit to Avery for jumping up there, but he needs help from his teammate as that ball comes just bouncing back down in an awkward angle. No clearance means a goal for Shelby County.
And now with a 2-0 lead, just a minute into the game, we come right back with Tarag scoring for Graves County. If this game is shaping up to be a culmination of the entire series, both these teams are hot.
And just straight off the kickoff, that ball comes dangerously fast out of the corner, back into the middle. Give a lot of credit to Tarag. He read the bounce, got in front of it, and we're just back at a 1-goal game already.
That we are. This game neck and neck, just like this series has been. I would not have this any other way.
I am so excited for this finish. It's just such great Rocket League. The drama and the storyline is unreal. Can Graves County get right back into this and find an equalizer?
And this is for the back-to-back, too. Like, what a way to add another level of hype to this game. Shelby County, they have so much riding on this game right here. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in regulation. These teams are neck and neck. Yo-Yo goes up for the aerial, not able to find it, though. Graves County, they're looking to get aggressive. Lockjaw really came out in his own there in game number 6, scoring 3 goals. Hasn't quite had the same performance so far. That one off the kickoff. He's looking to make a repeat of last game. And what a save there by Tarag. That one from Primal was headed straight for the corner.
I must say Primal has certainly come alive here in game 7. He's generating so much offense. That was a really nice shot, but an even better save off the goal line.
What a beautiful performance from both these squads right now. The tension is so thick right here in the stadium. As Primal, see his camera here, shooting over to Avery. Good drive here by Shelby County off the back wall. Can they get in position? No, it's going to be turned away. They drop back on defense. Didn't have the confidence to go for that play. Wasn't quite set up.
And you notice Avery so low on boost there. I think he wanted to come off the backboard, but he understood that he just didn't quite have the boost in that spot to make that play. They were patient instead. Shelby County didn't push the spot. It allows them to somewhat reset, but they still have to be careful.
Yeah, these aerial plays require that boost, and look at Primal! Oh my word! Once again, able to come off a great assist by Nicholas. You see this, just bouncing off the corner. That's about as clean of a shot you can take.
Primal has really, really asserted himself in game 7 here. Finding the shots, finding the passes, finding the goals. It's allowed Shelby County to take this 2-goal lead. Oh, I don't even want to predict it. It's so good.
Still neck and neck here. 2 goals is not out of the reach for Graves County. We've seen them have explosive drives. This one hanging across their goal. Primal once again with another assist there from Nicholas. Just bringing it in, keeping it right in front of the goal. He held that ball there so long.
And Nichols almost might be a little bit upset there. That assist was taken away from the ball bouncing between the 2 players on the goal line.
He's a team player.
Yes, he certainly is. You don't get credit on the scoreboard for that one. I'm looking for Graves County. They have 90 seconds, 3 goals. It's going to take a lot. You have to go all out.
But they have to do it here. They've come so close. They're 1 game away from having that 3-game run to close out the series. What a redemption arc for them that would be. But so much work to do, as you pointed out. They need to start scoring right now.
Shelby County are going to be on the flip side of this, though. They're going to be okay with letting some of this pressure come through. 3 goals in 60 seconds is a lot to ask, They're going to be fine with just making these small defensive touches and just letting the clock run.
Shelby County, they're just looking to buy time right now. Like you said, they want to just keep the ball in the air as much as possible, away from their goal. Graves County is the one that is under pressure to pick up the pace.
They certainly are, and you'll notice that Graves County, they're just waiting for their spots. They gotta find them coming through though. 30 seconds, I don't know if it's enough.
You gotta think that this one is over here. Shelby County, congratulations. With just a couple seconds left in regulation, the lead seems insurmountable. They are going to most likely be, bar the caster curse of a miracle, 3 goals in 10 seconds. I can confidently say now that Shelby County will once again be your KHSAA champions. Avery's gonna hit it with a buzzer beater at the last second, but with 1 second left on the clock, it's a great look, but it's not enough.
And at this point, there's just no mathematical way that they can equalize. Even if they get it straight from the kickoff, it's just simply not enough time. Shelby County, they had 3 chances, once they got to match point. They used all 3. As again, these players will keep the spirit alive here at the end of this game. It won't be final until the ball touches the ground.
Like you said, even if the ball were to enter the goal right now, it's not going to. The game still would have ended. What a fight by Graves County. But in the end, it is going to be Shelby County, the Rocket Gold Squad, back-to-back champions. What an impressive squad.
I love how that series played out.
Yes.
They came out, they won some very close, very tense games early. Graves County comes right back out after a technical pause. They take 2 demanding, exciting Game 6 or Game 5 and 6, but Game 7 was all Shelby County all the way. They capitalized on the mistake early, and they just never took their foot off the gas.
We saw Shelby in that Game 7 have the same resurgence that Graves County did after those first 3 games, where they came back after that short break and had that just immense push where they almost took 3 in a row to close out the series, but Shelby finally caught up when it really mattered. And that's the true mark of a great team. It's those clutch moments. I mean, you can drop some here and there, but when it really matters, back against the wall, Game 7 in the championship finals, defending your title. The fact that they were to come out and just clutch that win away is phenomenal. And I want to give a shout out to Primal as well. Throughout the entire series, when we were looking at the highlight reels, his name was in every single one of them.
I was actually going to say the same thing. He put on such a commanding performance in that Game 7 here. Just capitalizing on the mistakes. He was there for the passes. He was there for the shots. He was there on defense as well. Truly a great performance across all 3 areas of the pitch. He has to be feeling absolutely incredible right now. I think he knows how well he played.
I'm sure the entire team is feeling great. Congratulations once again to Shelby County, the Gold Rocket Squad, for winning back-to-back titles. And thank you to all the viewers that tuned in to join us on the broadcast. Thank you again to PlayVS for putting on this entire event, and the University of Kentucky for hosting this at their LAN Center. I have been your host and play-by-play audio, and joining me was my co-host, Perino. Stay tuned. We have League of Legends coming up next. You aren't going to want to miss it. Another championship coming your way.
I think a lot of students have just gotten another sense of how to belong and how to create relationships outside of what were the traditional avenues.
And a lot of my students talk about how they feel safe in the esports program, and that's their family, that's their community. And I think that esports gives kids a future that they might otherwise not have.
Man, I wish that had been available when I was in high school.